There we go. Um, okay. Oh, hopefully this should be working fine. And we're going to start as of right now. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining me. I know it's late and you all might be a little bit tired, so I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here. To start, I would like for you to, well, I'll introduce myself first. I'm Andrea. I'm a therapist. I've been practicing for the last 5 years, and I specialize in working with families, especially parents and teens. So I'm really happy to meet you all. If you want to introduce yourselves, that would be great.
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Kayla. Yeah, and these are my parents. Not really sure why we're here, but I'm sure they'll tell you about it.
Okay. Kayla, how old are you?
I'm 16.
Okay. And just really briefly, I want to just give you a heads up that I'm trying to jot down notes for myself just to keep facts together, but my pen's not working. So never mind about that. But if I do get my pen working, I'm just writing down like individual notes for myself. No one else will see that. And so sorry, go ahead. You're 16?
Yeah, I'm 16. I'm in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Normal 16-year-old stuff.
Okay. Mom?
Hi, I'm Sally. I'm Kayla's mom.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. And
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Ken. I am Kayla's dad.
Hey, Sally and Ken and Kayla. So how about we start with what brought you all in tonight?
Yeah, so this session really is sort of led by Kayla. She actually mentioned that she would like to come to therapy, and obviously Ken and I are really on board with that. The main concern really is that, I would say in the last year or so, we've had a lot of, disagreements. We've had a lot of issues at home. My relationship with Kayla has changed. There is that component of school. She doesn't really love to talk about that, but that's really important to her father and I, that, she gets good grades and they're really not great at this point. So that's pretty much.
Ken, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm seeing it's been very hard watching my daughter and my wife just having these little spats that just go on, and it's been difficult to be in the kind of watching from behind the scenes a little bit. I don't normally like to get into fights that much with my daughter because, like, she's my little girl and she's the only one I have. So
Right.
it's been difficult. And like my wife said, I have always taught Kayla to work really hard in school and to not slack off, because that's the goal, to have a good education so that she could get a good career out of it. So, and it seems like something is just not working, and it's frustrating.
Okay. Kayla, you mentioned in the beginning of the session that you weren't entirely sure why you guys were here. But your mom mentioned that, this was sort of your idea. So what's going on there?
Like, they say that, like, I'm acting out and like my grades are slipping, and they want to figure out like why. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it because, I'm a kid and I think stuff happens. But if they think something's wrong, then I said, fine, we should just come here and try to figure it out or fix me.
Okay. You said that they feel as though you're acting out and that your grades are slipping. Are your grades slipping?
I guess. I don't even know. Like, I used to be like a straight A student, but then like this year, like, I had an A in chemistry, and then now like this semester I have like a C, which like it's not super bad because like C's get degrees.
Right.
But I mean, like then in history, I have like a C minus, and then in math, I have like a D. I mean,
Oh my word.
I've never been good at math though. So like, I don't, whatever. But like, I don't think my grades are so bad. Like, at least I have like 1A still.
Okay. It sounds like this is news to you?
I like, so we don't really talk about school and grades. I hear by the report card at the end of the term. Like last term she was doing pretty good, and I saw that she's typically an AB student. And now that I'm hearing that you have C's and even a D, and that your attitude appears just, I don't know where you heard C's get degrees from. Like, that's just asinine to me. I don't know who taught you that. Sally.
I don't know. I heard it somewhere.
I mean,
throw something out here, Sally.
70. A C's is 70. That's not that bad.
I feel a little differently about the grades. I mean, I didn't have real great grades growing up.
Okay.
I'll say that. So I've never been super hard on her grade wise. I mean, it's just like, do your best. That's all I can ask for. Do your best.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
But that's
she's
not her
always done.
best.
Yeah. So she's gotten A's and B's. But I mean, he's a little bit like crazy about this. Like, he needs to calm down a little bit. I mean, I feel like she's trying, but it's just like, and something's changed in the last year. It's like she does have a boyfriend now. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's friends. I don't know what it is, but it's like,
Yeah,
she's
you
telling me that
mentioned-
she's trying her best, but
You mentioned that before, so I wanted to get back to that. You mentioned that it seems as though things have been a little bit more, there's been more conflict and a little bit of a behavioral change and attitudinal change since she has been dating. I don't know. I'd like to get a little bit more information about that with you, Kayla. With a boyfriend, do you have a boyfriend in the picture?
Yeah, his name's Zach. He's really cool. I really like him. We've been together for like, I don't know, I think it's like 8 or so months, maybe a little bit longer. But he's really sweet and I really like him.
Okay. And how old is he?
He's gonna be 18 soon.
Is he in school with you?
Yeah, he goes to the same school, but he's just a couple grades higher than me.
Okay. And generally speaking, your relationship has been pretty good. Is it serious or?
I mean, as serious as it could be for a 16-year-old, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, I love him.
Okay, well, that's very serious. Mom and Dad, well, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I wouldn't say he's really sweet. I would
Okay.
say he's a nice kid and he comes around and he says hello to us, but that's about it.
Well, I like to, like I said, I like to refrain a little bit from the arguments, but this might start one. I don't know what an 18-year-old is doing so old with the young girl. I don't know what that's about. It's a little interesting.
But he's not 18 yet. He'll be 18 soon. So like we're practically the same age.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like my wife says, I think she's a little lenient with letting him over and them going down in the basement and being alone. It has been since the 8 months. It's maybe 3 times a week, which is a little absurd. And she goes over there too because I drive her there and pick her up at absurd hours, which is ridiculous to me, but I listen to my wife.
So the two of you have different ideas as to what is appropriate for Kayla to be, engaging with on sounds like school nights as well as your definition of what an appropriate relationship is. However, Ken, I'm hearing you say that you sound your body language is looking a little frustrated, but you say that you don't say a lot. Do you typically avoid, do you guys ever have conversations with each other about Kayla's relationship?
We have some. It doesn't really have any resolution, to be honest. It's pretty much just me saying randomly, like when we're getting ready for work in the morning, I don't know about that Zach boy. Like she goes there after school at 4 o'clock and I pick her up at 10 o'clock. And that's a long time to be with a boy. And I don't know his parents. I don't know what the heck they're doing. I don't know if the parents are like, what if they're alone? I don't know. So I mentioned that to my wife. My wife just says, it's okay. She's happy. So I just say, okay.
Kayla, do you ever hear your parents discussing your relationship amongst each other?
I mean, like sometimes, I mean, I think they definitely try not to like bring it up in front of me. But like, yeah, I've heard them say a little bit of stuff, but like they don't know him like I do.
Okay.
So like, you know, they think he's a nice, just like nice, but like, you know, he's always like wanting to watch my favorite movie and he always just like buys me things and stuff like that. Like they don't get it. They don't get it.
Okay. It sounds like your dad's a little not so sure. And your mom sounds like she's wants to make sure that you're happy. Is there any, have you ever just like, has he ever mentioned coming over and hanging out with your family, maybe having dinner, anything like that? Does that ever happen?
No, I mean, I think he's like intimidated by my family. So like he always kind of like wants me to come over.
Okay.
Like I think, you know, and
We've
like
offered.
when he does come over, it's just us. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I think he gets the vibe that like you guys just don't like him. So like I prefer going over there. And like I think he prefers it that I'm over there too.
We've offered many times for him to come over for dinner in the beginning, especially. And then I met him a couple times. I don't know. I don't really love him. Like I said, I really am associating, you know, this period of her life since she's met him with these bad grades. So it just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Right. And, you know, Ken and I do argue about this. But, you know, even just saying it out loud now, like, you know, I do want her to be happy, but I don't think we can do this back and forth 3 times a week. You know, if the grades keep slipping, she's not going to be allowed to see him as much.
But like, I'm going to do what I can to see him.
Like, well, then need to get your grades up.
My grades are fine. Zach thinks they're fine. I think they're fine.
I don't care what Zach thinks. Did Zach raise you all these 16 years, put a roof over your head, take you to school every day, make you get an education? No. I don't give one iota what Zach says.
Well, I'm happy, and I think that's what matters.
And I think that your parents want you to be happy. Can you sound very frustrated? I think that we all want to be able to be heard in this situation. And so despite the fact that, you know, Ken or Zach has not raised Kayla or put a roof over her head or anything like that, you know, I think that it's important that we just kind of come back to the idea that let's go back to the grades and where that's coming from. And I'd like to speak to you a little bit more, Kayla, and Mom, Dad, if you don't mind, just maybe taking a step back so that I can ask Kayla a little bit more questions. So you mentioned that they don't you don't feel as though they quite understand your relationship with him. Can you describe that a little bit more in detail? Do you feel comfortable with that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I just I don't know, like I think he treats me well. Like they only see like what he allows them to see,
Right,
I
but you
think.
said he's intimidated maybe a little bit by them. So how much do you think he's actually showing them of himself?
Wow. Um I mean, maybe he is holding back a little bit,
Hmm.
or like I don't know, like putting on a front so my parents would like him,
Hmm.
possibly. I mean, he just says like he feels more comfortable like with me over at his house, and like he doesn't like coming over here. So like I typically just I'll go over if he says like he wants me to come over.
Right. I'm curious as to, knowing that your parents love you and they want to make sure that you're doing the best in your life. Um, and also knowing that Zach might feel a little bit intimidated and so he doesn't show up as much. How do you think that they might be feeling in terms of their comfortability with you being over there so much? Understanding that they don't know him that well.
I mean, I would like everybody to like get to know each other,
Hmm.
and like I don't know, like I know my dad is definitely I guess a little bit more worried than my mom.
Hmm.
And like, that sucks to hear, but like he's he's a good kid.
Well,
Like
we're going to be rounding our time in like about 5 minutes, so I want to make you guys aware of that, so we don't cut off abruptly. But what do you think that we can do from now until like next time that we meet each other, to maybe make your parents see a different side of him? And Kayla, what do you think that you could do talking to him and letting him understand where your parents are coming from?
um well, I know mom said that, we've invited Zach over for dinner a
Hmm.
couple times. And like he's been like, no, like I just don't feel comfortable. But maybe I can like talk to him again and say like, this is important for my parents to get to know you. And
Hmm.
like you are my boyfriend, so I want you to get to know them too.
Hmm.
Um, like it's important to me, and we're in a serious relationship. Um, so I think like that's like a starting point for me at least. Will
Okay.
he say yes? I don't know.
Right. But I think it sounds great that you are recognizing that, by you saying for you, uh, it's important for him to get to know your parents because they're important to you. That's that's really the highlighting topic here. And that, from your mom and dad's perspective, because they love you, they also want to get to know him a little bit more too. So again, spitballing ideas as to how we can do this in a way that might make it a little bit less intimidating because let's be honest, he is still he's not even 18 yet. He's still a boy. How can we make this a situation that's going to be a little bit less intimidating and a little bit more palatable for all three of you, and well, for all four of you actually, to be able to come together and do something so that you can get to know him more? Would inviting his parents over be something that would be up to, like, what else would be fun?
We can do something fun, like I know he likes to go bowling.
Okay.
So like what if we went bowling?
Okay.
That'd be fun. We could have teams. Dad, you can be on Zach's team. Mom, we can be together on a team. A little bit of bonding. If
What do you think of that?
we ask his parents, that would be even better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
think
sounds
maybe
nice.
if he's not comfortable coming over, we could do something outside the house. So maybe it just kind of breaks that uncomfortability for him.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Okay. well, we are rounding out the end of our session for tonight. So in the meantime, I'm hoping that we get to meet again next week. Does that work for all of you? Because I know schedules are crazy. It does? Okay. So then in the meantime, Kayla, I think it would be great for you to have the opportunity to speak to Zach about, you know, maybe doing the bowling idea, and Sally and Ken, you know, you sound like you're open to it as well, just
Yep.
to get to know him. And I think that something else that we should maybe think about for next session is, Kayla, regarding your grades and understanding how much you are allowed to go out at night and see your boyfriend, knowing how your parents feel about your grades. That's something that, you know, I think everyone can get on the same page about at some point, for between now and next session. Does it sound good?
I just want to
Okay.
make everybody happy.
Mom and Dad?
Sounds
I
good.
love that idea. It's a good idea.
Okay. All right. Well, then we'll see each other same time next week. And it was so nice talking with all of you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.